This is to item D6, where we are going to accept a final Chevron Richmond Refinery third-party safety evaluation. And we've got before our Hazardous Materials Director, Randy Sawyer. We've got Walt Gill from Chevron here in the audience, and look forward to hearing. And Walt, I've got your speaker card as well. At the appropriate time, we'll bring you up.
And Randy, can you email us the PowerPoint? Because I don't think, yeah, that'd be great.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair Anderson and the rest of the board. As you're aware, on August 6, 2012, there was a major fire at the Chevron Richmond Refinery. A 6-inch pipe on a side cut from the
Randy, can you pull it up a little closer to you, and let's make sure, is your light's on, so just a little closer. Thank you.
You got it. A 6-inch pipe on a side cut from the crude distillation tower failed that released a diesel-like material that eventually ignited. The fire resulted in 6 employees receiving minor injuries. The fire also produced a large plume of black smoke that impacted the community. In the next 22 days, over 15,000 people went to emergency rooms as a result of the fire. The community was concerned about the safety at the refinery. The county's and the City of Richmond's Industrial Safety Ordinance allows health services staff to perform a safety culture assessment and a safety inspection when an incident like this one occurs. It was cited that an evaluation would be done, and it would be done by a third party. To ensure public transparency, an oversight committee would assist staff in the overall process. The contractor performed an on-site evaluation and developed a report of their findings and recommendations. When the draft report was complete, there was a public comment period, and then the final report was completed. The hazardous materials staff worked with the city and Supervisor Joya in developing an oversight committee to assist hazardous materials program staff in this process. The oversight committee consisted of 3 representatives from the local Richmond community, 2 union representatives, a representative from the City of Richmond, 1 representative with experience and knowledge operating a petroleum refinery, and 1 representative from the hazardous materials programs. The committee assisted in hiring a third-party contractor to perform the safety evaluation. This included developing the scope of work and a request for proposal. There were 2 consulting firms that bid on the job. The Oversight Committee interviewed the 2 consulting firms and decided on Process Improvement Institute. Process Improvement Institute, or sometimes known as PI, representatives were on site for 3 weeks during October and November 2013. A safety culture survey was given to Chevron and contractor employees. Process Improvement Institute also included interviews and focus groups and the overall safety culture assessment. The other 2 areas of work performed by Process Improvement Institute include the review of Chevron's process safety management systems and how Chevron incorporates human factors in their accidental release prevention programs. There were 37 recommendations that Process Improvement Institute made in their report on how Chevron may improve their safety at the refinery. These include 2 management change recommendations, including how the refinery handles temporary changes and streamlining the management of change reviews. 4 recommendations on working with the safeguards and preventing or mitigating accidents, including determining when a safeguard protection analysis is needed. 4 human factor recommendations include improving human factors review during process hazard analysis and to inspect the refinery for human error engineering using the Chevron standard. 3 process hazard analysis recommendations include developing a process and procedure for declining recommendations and incorporating damage and mechanism reviews in the process hazard analysis. 13 mechanical integrity recommendations, including managing equipment and human actions identified as safeguards, updating policies and procedures for managing and maintaining equipment and human actions identified as safeguards and causes, continue the current emphasis on the mechanical integrity procedures and processes, follow through on their plans to improve piping inspections, testing, and preventing maintenance by using appropriate American Petroleum Institute codes, and standards, and Chevron's operating experience. Developing a positive material identification policy, procedures, and practices for all processes area where the wrong material construction can cause a loss and containment of a hazardous material, and complete the 100% baseline positive material identification for alloys in the refinery. 3 training recommendations include incorporating different modes of refresher training used in hypothetical situations that may lead to a catastrophic incident. And there were 7 management system recommendations, including ensuring procedures are accurate, complete, clear, and consistent with best practices of reducing human error, developing methods to increase management and employee expertise in applying stop work authority for process safety situations, improving transparencies when recommendations from process hazard analysis, management of change, and incident investigations are completed, and expanding operators and maintenance craftspersons' involvement in leading roles in process safety activities. And there were 3 incident investigation recommendations, including using operators in leading investigations. The final report, the draft was completed by Process Institute in November 2015. The draft report was presented to the Oversight Committee for review and comment. A 45-day public comment period was held between February 1st and March 16th of this year, with a public meeting held on February 10th. One public comment was received from Chevron on the report. Staff is now working with Chevron on the action plan to address the findings and recommendations. There was a long delay from the time of the on-site evaluation to the final draft of the report being issued. During that time, Chevron had developed actions and a plan to address some of the concerns that are discussed in the report. Some of the actions are not the same as the recommendations. Staff is working with Chevron to ensure that the actions being taken do address the findings and concerns raised in the report. Chevron has also looked at other means to address the concerns and findings that may be different from the actual recommendations. Staff is also reviewing these actions to determine the concerns and findings from the report are being addressed. Staff is now at the refinery performing an industrial safety ordinance audit and inspection. Some of the actions items will be reviewed as part of the audit, and some will be reviewed after the on-site portion of the audit is complete. And that really concludes the presentation of this evaluation. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay, Supervisor.